Let's be honest, folks. The whole virgin birth story, bit of a toughie to swallow, right? Like finding a tenner and it not being glued to the pavement. Miraculous, but you just know someone's got a cracking tale behind it. Well, buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into the greatest story never told. The real, uncensored, utterly scandalous chronicles of Mary and Joseph. Forget frankincense and myrrh. This tale rewrites history with a dash of oi, you what? And a whole lot of blimey, that's cheeky. Now, picture Nazareth, a town smaller than a Roman chariot racetrack and twice as dusty. Mary, a young woman with a twinkle in her eye and a secret up her sleeve, found herself in a right pickle. See Joseph? Decent bloke, with a face like a slapped fish, when surprised, was about to become a dad. The only problem? Immaculate conception wasn't exactly trending in the first century. Panic set in, faster than a centurion, after a bad plate of hummus. Word on the street, or rather, the dusty path, was that Mary's surprise pregnancy was, how shall we say, a touch unorthodox. Gossip, hotter than a baker's oven in August, rippled through Nazareth. Fishwives muttered behind their baskets. Carpenters choked on their dates. Even the local goats seemed to be exchanging knowing glances. Mary and Joseph, meanwhile, were sweating more than a pair of Roman soldiers forced to do a 20-mile march in the midday sun. They needed a miracle, and they needed it yesterday. Enter stage left Gabriel, God's somewhat exasperated messenger boy. Imagine a celestial being with the patience of a saint who'd drawn the short straw for the miracle PR gig. Right, Gabriel sighed, wings drooping lower than a camel's knees. Let's go with a virgin birth. It's divinely inspired, it's improbable, well, frankly, it's the best we've got. Joseph, bless his cotton socks, nearly fainted. Mary, ever the pragmatic one, just rolled her eyes and muttered something about men being useless in a crisis. Now, convincing the neighbours was one thing. Gabriel, meanwhile, was regretting that last cup of celestial tea. Honestly, dealing with humans was more trouble than a chariot race with a flat tire. He'd delivered the message, hadn't he? What more did they want? A signed affidavit from the Almighty himself? He envisioned the headlines now. Angel bungles miracle announcement. Mass hysteria erupts in Judea. And as if things couldn't get any more bonkers, the rumors started. Whispers of glowing donkeys, celestial choirs, serenading shepherds, and a star that seemed to have a mind of its own. It was like someone had spiked the well with something stronger than watered-down Roman wine. Mary and Joseph found themselves caught in a whirlwind of their own making, desperately trying to keep a straight face and a straight story amidst the chaos. The closer they got to Mary's due date, the more outlandish the rumours became. Nazareth was now more popular than a free wine fountain in the Colosseum. Tourists flocked to gawk at Mary's burgeoning belly, convinced it held the key to eternal life, or at least a good harvest. Gabriel, meanwhile, had taken to hiding out in the celestial equivalent of a pub, drowning his sorrows in ambrosia and avoiding God's increasingly frantic voicemails. The whole thing was snowballing faster than a runaway chariot down Mount Sinai. Something had to give, and soon. Mary, ever the voice of reason in this divine sitcom, decided it was time to take charge. "Joseph," she declared, brandishing a rolling pin with the air of a woman who'd faced down Roman tax collectors and won, "it's time we told everyone the truth." Joseph nearly choked on his fig. The truth? But what about the angel? The star? Your mother? Mary just smiled. So, did Mary convince everyone with her tale? Was Joseph hailed as the most understanding husband in history? And just what exactly did happen that night in Bethlehem? Well, I guess things got a bit out of hand, eventually giving rise to the excuse to own slaves, hate, gays, propagate racist organizations, protect pedophiles, and all the other good stuff we see in the world of long robes and ridiculous head adornment. Disclaimer: no angels were harmed in the making of this highly fictionalized and potentially blasphemous retelling of biblical events. Viewer discretion, especially with those with a low tolerance for anachronisms and irreverent humor, is strongly advised. We're betting this little reimagining of the nativity story is going to send those celestial ratings through the roof. After all, everyone loves a good laugh, even upstairs. Just don't tell God we said that. He's still a bit touchy about the whole creative liberties thing.